Hey, good morning, everyone. Okay, fine. So let's start. Today we're gonna start discussing about the how we can able to attach the volumes. I mean to say, let's for example, you deploy an application HT instance, and let's say it's working fine, but some point of time you need more storage to your existing instance. The time how we can able to create a disks and how we can attach the disks to this particular existing user instances. That is a topic that we are discussing right now. We'll see about like how to create a disk and how we can able to attach the volumes, and also we'll discussing about like how to creating a snapshots and creating volumes with the snapshots. That topic also that we have to understand. So fine, and also we'll discuss about like what is meant by bootstrap script. This is very important, and tomorrow we'll see how we can able to create a custom images. Yeah, and we'll see how we can attach the CloudWatch to the exit instances to monitoring your application, your resources, whatever that we deployed on this particular server. That we'll discuss. So after that, we'll move on to the next module. We'll move on to the database services. Okay. Yeah, fine. Let me share my screen and we can start discussing about it. Let me log into the AWS account. Yep. So the first what we do, we just need to create EC2 instances now. Yep. Click on the EC create instances here. Let me go to the services now. Under services, we have to click on EC2. Now here what we do, we just need to click on the launch an instance. Yeah. So let me just try to put the name of the instances here. Let's say, for example, I'm just trying to put in the web server is the name of the instances. And if we come down, we can see like we have different OSs that we have. Like we have the Amazon Linux and we have Mac OS and we have Ubuntu, we have Windows, we have Red Hat, right? So let me just try to take the Ubuntu, the instance, I mean, Amazon Mission Image type. Now I have to go with the instance type here. We can see the instance type is showing about a read micro, which is nothing but like 1 CPU and 1 GB RAM. We need a keypad to log into the instances. We know that like we have the keypads already. I'm just using the same keypad for the connecting my server. We don't need to create the keypads every time whenever you're trying to creating instances. So let's say this is a keypad that I have right now. See, whenever you're trying to creating any servers, okay? So whenever you're trying to creating any servers, all the servers you have to create within the VPC. Even I told you yesterday also, you should create a VPC within the VPC, we had to create all the resources. See, from the beginning to till the end, whatever that you are trying to doing it, everything you have to do it within the VPC. That's very important. That is the best practice that you guys has to do it. Now, if we just look at my screen, we had to first put the key pair after the network settings, right? See, I'm just trying to after that, I'm just trying to creating instance within the default VPC, but you should not do that. You have to create a VPC, you have to create a subnet, you have to create routing tables. Within this particular VPC only, you have to do it. That's, you have to practice. Now here, if you just look at my screen, I'm just trying to go there and I'm just trying to put the security group. So I have already, I think, security group. I'm just trying to checking that whether we have security groups or not. Security groups is a kind of firewalls, which is basically block, right? So I'm just trying to select the security group what we created yesterday for the auto scaling. Okay. Now here, what I
Bully,
my voice is
Bully, your
breaking.
voice is not clear. It's a
Yes,
lagging.
it's a lagging. I came to home yesterday, so because of that, maybe let's try with other network. Mm, yeah. Let me know still if you guys are getting the voice break and put me the message in the chat box, okay? So I hope it is better now. Am I correct?
It is better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear.
Mm. So what I'm just trying to doing is I'm just trying to creating one instance now. Now we can see that I have mentioned about the what is the instance name, and after that I have selected about like which Amazon machine image that I need, whether I want the Amazon Linux or whether I need the MacBook, Mac OS or Ubuntu or Windows, Red Hat server or still Linux. So what kind of OS that we have required? So I have selected something. It is called as a Ubuntu is my instance what I need. Amazon machine image. After that, if we come down, we have to select what is the instance type that we need, whether you required t.micro or what exactly the instance type that we need. I have to select that. We can just look at my screen. We have the different instance type that we have, right? Like we have T2 family and we have T4 family, C4 family. See, this is purely depending on what kind of application that you're deploying. Are you deploying the big data applications? Are you running the AI agents? Are you running the banking applications? So for that, what kind of configuration that you need? Like, it's required 4 CPU, 16 GB RAM, or 2 CPUs, 8 GB RAM. And so you can see that 8 CPUs, 32 GB RAM. No, it isn't like that. So you have to select that what kind of instance that we are trying to using it. If you just go there, we can see like, the C5, like, 16 CPUs, 32 GB RAM, and we can see about like 42 46 48 CPUs, 96 GB RAM. So it depends on the particular workload, what kind of application that you're deploying. We have to choose the instance type. It is not like every time you have to go with t.micro, because we are practicing small applications and the small applications with a Java or a web. That's the reason. So we can just look at here. We are just go to this particular options. Otherwise, we just need to understanding about like how we can able to delete all these particular options. So you can see that I'm just going for t.micro as of now. Let's go to the 1 CP and 1 GB RAM. I explained that the key pair already, whatever that you have, the same key pair that we can use it. And if we come down, we can see about like networking here. I'm telling that, you have to create a VPC. Within the VPC, you have to do everything. I mean to say, so whatever that you are trying to doing it, so everything has to do it within the VPC. You should not do it anything on the default VPC, that is for sure. So you should know that like what is what is you are creating, where you are creating, those things is very important. Now we are trying to creating instance. The instance we have to create within the VPC. See, not only this instance, whenever you're trying to creating anything, see everything you have to, yeah, everything you have to create within the VPC. That is very important for us. Okay. Now what I do, I'm just trying to go back. I'm just trying to creating instance. After that, what I do, I have to select something. It is called as a, yeah. And we have to select about the security groups. Security group is nothing but like, the kind of security that you're providing to your instances. You're deciding that what, request and what firewalls that you wanted to open. See, because every application definitely works on a specific port number. You should know about like, what port number that you are using, how we are using it. That's very, very important. For that, what we can do, we have to go for something. It is called network settings. So when I come to the network settings, we can see about like, what is the network settings that we have to use. In that, what kind of protocols that we have to use, that's very, very important. Now we can just look at my screen. Now we are trying to creating a security group. This security group contains a port number 80 and port number 22. Only two protocols that we have open in yesterday's session, right? The same thing that I'm just trying to putting all there, nothing else. Now if we come down, yeah, if we just come down, if you go there, yeah, you can just look at my screen, the storage. The storage that you have taken, you can just look at my screen. The storage you have taken only for 8 GB, but I just need more storage. Let me show you about like how much storage that we need, right? See, whenever we talk about something, it is called storage. I just have the only 30 GB storage, but I need more storage. Assume that initially you have given the 30 GB storage for this instance, but later some point of time you need more storage. So in that time, what we can do that there's a problem that we are discussing right now because you by sometimes we need more storage. The time how we can able to attach, how we can able to create disk and how we can attach to the specific instances. That's definitely we should understand right now. So you can just look at my screen. I have to come down and here we have to click on the launch instance. So here the number of instances, how many that we require that we can able to see about all there, the number of requests, how many we need. So we need only one instance as of now. We don't need the multiple instances. Now here, if we come down, we have to go for the launch instance. The moment when I click on the launch instance, the instance is going to it is going to be created, right? So this is something that we have done, right? I mean to say, if we come down, we have to look at my screen, click on view all instances, right? I hope this is clear to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, Murli.
Yes, Mulu. Yep. Now what I do, we can just go for it. Now we have to first understand that how we can able to increase the storage to my instance. That is nothing but like volumes, right? So now if you just look at my screen, I will show you about like how to create it the volume now. It's just okay. Now here the first what we do, we are just trying to create it the volumes. This is nothing but the volumes what we are trying to creating. Yeah. See, before you're trying to creating a volume, I want to first go back to the EC2 instances right now. Yeah. See, if you just go back to the instance now, click on the instance ID. Yeah. If we come down, we can see this is nothing but like details of your instance, right? You see that? If you go back to the storage, you can see status and alarms, and it is for metrics. Basically, this go for the monitoring. We can see like, it's showing about like what is CPU utilization, what is network in bytes, networking out, and the packets in cloud, and also we can see everything. Now we have to go to security. This is under security. We can see like we have the port number 28 is got open. The port number 808 is got also we have open. Because under security group, these are the two port number that we open it. If we go to networking right now, it is nothing but like which VPC, in which subnet that instance is running, and what is the public DNS name, private DNS name, that's everything that we can see over there. If we go back to the storage, right, this is what I wanted to discuss. Now, if you look at my screen, now there is something it is called the root device. Where is the root device is available here? Forward slash dev forward slash SD1A. So what is this forward slash dev? What is forward slash SD1A? Anyone have any idea? Make it fast.
Is it a branch name?
Which branch it is?
Is it the name of the device that's been allocated or the location?
Hmm.
It's the name or the location of the storage device. The E.
Hey, hey King, you are here. Okay.
I'm I'm kind of driving, so I'm on mobile. So, but the XDVR is the name of the location of the EBS.
Okay. First, understand what is this forward slash dev. We can see that SD1 that we should understand. See, whenever you're trying to working with this Linux, Linux OSs, wherever you see about something, it is called as a forward slash. The forward slash always defines the root directory. Yeah. So now here, our location is showing about like forward slash, right? Sorry. It is just showing about like, forward slash dev. And we can see that forward slash, it is showing about like SDA1, right? This is nothing but like we're discussing right now. Say here in Linux, wherever we can see about like forward slash, it is nothing but like Linux file system hierarchy. See, forward slash always defines the, root directory. So here under the root directory, we can see that you have something it is called dev. And inside that we can just look at here, there is something it is called as a SD1, right? See, this is nothing but like a device name. So when I say about like forward slash dev, it is nothing but like what we can say, nothing but like Linux device name. that is nothing but like forward slash dev1. And after that, what we do, if I just mention about like SDA1, see the SDA1 is basically refer to the storage device. Storage device. So, and it is showing about like in a storage device and their partitions. Yep. So now this is what exactly that we should understand. So sometimes we can get the only forward slash dev that will get it. And also we can see sometimes partitions will get the SDK, and sometimes we'll get the forward slash dev forward slash you're gonna get the HDX, which is nothing but like other device formats. So this is something that we should understand here. So here, when you talk about like forward slash dev and forward slash, so is a directory where your device files are stored. So whenever we talk about something, it is called as a SD. We can see that SD and HD, right? See, whenever you're purchasing the laptop, we have you're gonna check about like what kind of disk that it has. This could be a hard disk drive or it could be a SDD, right? Nothing but like simple. Sorry. So when I talk about like SSD or HDD, it's nothing but like a kind of storage. What kind of storage that we have in my mission? So SSD is much faster and it is very costly. The same way, whenever we talk about something, it is called SD or HD, which is nothing but like refers to the type of the device. I'm going to say when I just go for the SD, basically we have something it is called SATA devices. Like we have hard drives and we have SSDs that comes under the HD. When I just go for HD is basically nothing but like IDE technology. Okay, it is a older technology we don't use. That is the reason whenever you're trying to creating the any instances, we just go for something it is called SD because a solid state disk is nothing but SSD and a hard disk drive it is nothing but like HDD. This comes under the SD part here. So X is a letter. We can see there is sometimes we can find the X, right? See, X is a letter that represent the device like A, B, C, or we can see let's this one I'm talking about it. So A, B, C, R, it is going to represent some numbers like 1, 2, 3. It is basically defines about like partitions on the device. See, don't take negligence here. It's very important. So okay, and you should understanding about like what is all these things. That's the reason whenever you're practicing, when you get to see something with the eyes, you have to understand the question like why it is, what happened, where we are going to use all these things. Now, this is nothing but like, what is the device and where we can able to store that. See, apart from this, also we have the some other devices also that we have. So where we can able to store your data. In that, we can see like we will get sometimes a forward slash dev. And also we can see about like you're gonna get the ASDB. Sometimes you can just go for the dev, and we are just trying to mention about like go for the SDA2. And after that, if you just look at here, see when I go for the forward slash dev STB, this is nothing but like go for the second and SCSI, or we can see that we can use something it is called SATA. It is for the devices, right? This is something that we are trying to understand. Now, if you just go for the forward slash dev SD2, which is nothing but like we can go for the second partition, right? We can just go. Yeah, I'm just trying to mention about like it is going to be a second partition. That's what we can just go there. And if you just go for sometimes we can see that a dev, and after that go for this option called as a NVMe, sometimes 0 and 1 like that you're gonna getting. So this is nothing but like it's showing about like NVM device. NVMe, and we can say about like SSD device. This is nothing but like different types of other devices that we have, which is basically that we are using to store your data. So commonly, whenever you're trying to creating any instances, so we are going to use some of the common devices, which basically that is going to help you about it. So we can see that we can go for the forward slash dev and we can provide the SD one. That's what we are discussing about. Like it is nothing but like, the first hard drive. Yeah, we can just go for first hard drive. You go for the device, or it is go for SSD. This is something that we are trying to understanding about, like what is the common devices that we are using it. After that, you can just look at my screen. If I go there, there is a, for example, if I just go there, if I just /dev, and we can see about like there is a SDB. The SDB, it is basically, it is what we can call as the second, yeah. Go for the second hard, yeah. Let's go for second hard driver. Yeah, which is basically talking about the SSD again. And after that, you can just go for the /dev, go for SDC. It is nothing but like, third driver, right? So when I just go for the third hard driver, or we can just go for the SSD. This is nothing but like, common devices that we are going to use. This is nothing but like other devices that we are going to use when you're trying to creating a storage. Now let me show you about like, when you try to create a disk, how we can able to create disk. I hope this is clear, right? This is nothing but like devices where we can able to store the data. So this is nothing but location, and we should understanding about like pattern, partitions, everything. So it is clear. Anyone have any questions before we just move on to the next?
No question.
Yeah, clear, sir.
Yeah. So what I do, I just need to first try to create a disk first. So how we can able to do that? Let me just try to see. This is nothing but like device. This is a solid. The SD comes under the SSD. This is nothing but like my partition name, and the size is nothing but like 8 GB. The volume state in use, and say attached means you already attached the instance. When you attached, is it encrypted your disk? No, that means we can able to create KMS key, and we can protect your data so that if somebody has got your disk also, they can't able to encrypt their data. That's what we have to understand. Now let me just try to create it the volumes. Let me just go for the volumes here. Yep. Now here, this is the only one volume that it's available in my Asia Pacific Mumbai region. Let me try to create it and show you that how we can able to create it. Now first click on the create a volume. So when you create a volume, we can see that there is something, it is called as the volume types. So whenever we talk about the volume types, it's come rarely if we go to any of the cloud, definitely this volume types you can see that there is something, it is called GP1, GP2, sorry, GP2, GP3, and we can see about like IO1, IO2, and cold HDD. We can see the throughput optimized HD1, ST1, so all magnetic disk here. So all these are nothing but different volumes type that we can do that. So whenever we talk about something, it is called general purpose. This nothing, again, I have to go there. So whenever we talk about something, it is called as a general purpose. We can see that there are different types of volumes that we have. We can just go for the GP2. You may get the question like, Murli, I'm learning DevOps or DevSecOps. I'm learning. Is it necessary for me to learn all these things? Absolutely yes, because you are the one designing your architecture, you are the one is going to implementing, so you have to understand that what kind of storage that you are using for your application, how faster you are trying to fetching data from the database. That's everything is, it is in your hands when you're writing a architectures. That's the reason you should have a very clear cut picture about each and every point what exactly that you're doing it. So now let me just go for the GP2. So we can see like, this is nothing but like general purpose SSD, the solid state disk that we are using to store your data. So we can see that AWS is basically offer these several types of volumes types. Each instances, it is basically it is designed for each use cases, right? So when I go for the general purpose SSD, we can just go for the GP2, or we can just go for the GP3. This is nothing but like there are general purpose SSDs that we have to use it, right? Whenever they just go for something, it is called GP2. It is nothing but like, a balanced, right? When I just go for something, it is called as a balance SSD volume, right? So whenever we talk about something, it is called balance SSD, nothing but like in a solid state disk here. So this is basically, that provides the mix. I mean to say, which is basically going to provide, say, what we can say about like the good mix of the performance. Say performance and cost. This is nothing but like, what is exactly meant by GP2 here. So I'll just need to go for the GP3 here. So when I just go for the GP3, yeah, it is go for the new year. So it is the new year, and we should understanding about it is more cost effective. Yeah, this is nothing but like, go for GP3, effective SSD, the volume. That's what we have to do because that offers, okay, better performance than GP2. Okay, this is nothing but like GP2 and GP3. Now the same way, when you go for this, see, whenever you do go for this GP1, GP2 and all, most of the cases, the most of the cases, yeah, the most of the cases when I go for the GP2 and GP3 and all, we are using for the general purpose workloads. Okay, or else we can just use something it is for the web servers, and we can see it is for using for the development environments. Okay, see, this is the three use cases that we are using it. So general purpose workloads, web servers, and we can go for the development environments. This is nothing but like what we can just go for the general use cases, right? Next, we have to go for something it is called a second one. It is nothing but like, go for the provisioned. The provisioned, just go for the IO SSD. Yeah, here we can just look at my screen. I can just go for the IO one and just go for the IO2. Just now we can see in the list, right? So what is exactly mean by this IO? So whenever we talk about something, it is called as a IO, that like input and output, right? So in just go for the IO1, why we are going to use means it is nothing but like a high performance SSD. Yeah. So we can just use for the high performance SSD, the volume. It is especially for designed for IO. We can see that IO, and we can just go for intensive workloads. Okay, that is what we are just go for the IO one. It is
You're
basically it
lagging,
is
your voice not clear.
again is my voice is lagging. My
Mm.
goodness. Okay, let's see now. If you guys are big facing still the same issue, let me know. Yeah. So fine. Let's move on. Yeah. So now we are discussing about like, IO1 and IO2 type of the disks that whatever that we have. So the basically IO1 and IO2 we are going to use for the get high performance SSD here. It is basically designed for the IO intensive workloads. For that, what we do, we are using something it is called as a IO1 and IO2 here. See, when I just go for something, it is called as a IO2, right? So let's go for the IO2. See, IO2 is basically what will happen. It is nothing but like it is just go for the more here advanced, and also the more advanced version of what we can say about like IO1. And after that, what we can see is just basically this go for the offering, and let's go for the yep higher IOPS. That's what we should understand, and durability. This is something that we are just trying to understanding about like uh, yeah. This is something that we are trying to understanding about like why we have to go for the IO2, and we can say about like IO2, IO1. So in which use cases that we are using means like it is going to, if you wanted to get the more faster responses, that cases what we can do, we are just going for this particular high performance databases. Let's say, for example, you just have the e-commerce applications, or you can just go for database like big data applications. So such kind of applications, we need to fetch the data very faster, and we have to provide the response or request to the customers, right? In such cases, what we do, we need something it is called as a high performance databases. So for that, definitely we have to choose that distributed disks like IO1 and IO2 and all. So go for the high performance databases like IO1, IO2, and also we can just go for something it is called as a go for the IO. It is nothing but like go for the intensive. I'm just trying to understanding about like it is go for intensive applications, right? So I'm just trying to go for the intensive applications. For that, we are using for IO here. So and also the latency sensitive workloads. This is nothing but like we can just go for this particular high performance you need for databases, we can go for the IO disk. The finally, I'll just talk about the other type that we have. Can see that there is a third one in the list. If we just go there, if first we have general purpose SSD1, SSD GP3, GP2, and IO1, IO2. And also we can see there is something it is called a cold HDD and throughput optimized HDD1, right? It is nothing but like SD1 they have mentioned. So this is very important because most of the applications are dealing with the big data, right? For example, if we just go to the Facebook is a big data applications. If we go to WhatsApp, big data application. For example, if you just go to the Instagram, big data applications, but because whenever you're sending a message, it doesn't have a proper format. You just keep on sending the messages. You should. Do you think about like how this particular data is transferred, where it is going to be storing, how the data is, where data is going to be storing, how data is going to processed and is trying to reach the customers. So because it doesn't have proper structure, right, to store in metadata table and all. See, for that we are using the PySpark, and we are using the big data tools like like we are going to use something it is called as the ETL tools to process your data, everything. Now whenever you're trying to work in such kind of applications, what kind of disk that we have to select? So for that we have to go this particular type of the storage that we have, and which is nothing but like go see throughput. So what we can say like go for throughput, and after that we can just go for the optimized, right? So go for the optimized HDD, which is what we can call it as a ST1 here. So this is nothing but like what is the disk type that we have to use, nothing but like throughput optimized HDD1. It is nothing but like in a cost effective HDD volume. It doesn't cost much you, but we are going to use for the big data processing and data warehouse and also log processing. So whenever you want to store the logs, you want to process all the logs because logs doesn't have a structure. Sometimes it'll throw the different kind of logs and all. So what we can do, we can just go for this particular throughput, right? So it is nothing but like go for the cost effective, right? You can just go for the cost effective HDD. You can just go for the volume. It is basically designed for a throughput, right? So let me just look at my screen. We just need to understanding about like Uh, yeah, we just need understanding about like what is exactly this throughput and how we can just go for the intensive workloads. Okay, this is something that we are just trying to using for the throughput. Now, the same way, there is other type of the volume also that we have. There is something it is called as a cold HDD, right? So what is this factor, the cold HDD, why we are going to use means it is a low cost HDD volumes designed for infrequently accessing data. It doesn't use for the big data applications or anything. It is basically we are going to use for what we can say about like archiving data or infrequently accessing data. In such cases that we can use for the cold SSD, it is very cheapest when you compare to the SSD, IO1, all these things. So we should understand about like, yeah, as a DevOps engineer, whenever you're trying to creating the any instance for or any server to your client, you should know what kind of storage that you are creating, why you are creating, and what is the use cases. You don't know all these things. You're blindly creating a disk or you're blindly creating instance. See, when you're trying to creating instances also, we can see when I'm just go for the launch instance, that time also we can see like, it's showing about like, there are different options of for my storage. If we just come down, we can see like we have the storage, right? If you just go for the storage, yeah, click the, yeah, one second, just I think it's loading. We can see this is the option that we have nothing but like configure storage, right? When it configure in storage, it is going to ask you about like what kind of storage that you want to create it. Now let me just go back here, go back to the EC2. I hope my voice is clear now. Am I correct?
Yes,
Yes,
Murli.
it's clear.
Okay. So let me just try to, where is it gone? Okay. Let me go back to my AWS account. Let me show you about like how to create disk and how we can attach the disk to the EC2 instances. Yeah, fine. Now we had now here what we do first, we have to go to this particular the volumes. Now here we have to click on the volume here, create a volume. Now we can see that what type of disk that we have to create. Now you guys tell me what kind of disk I need to choose. Are you guys can hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Now tell me what kind of disk that we have to choose now.
ST1.
The throughput ST1, throughput HDD.
No, we don't want that throughput S3 one, right? Because it is for the big data applications. It is not for the web
Okay.
servers and all. I told you that we have GP2 and we can see about like GP3, which is basically that we are using for the web servers, general purpose works and repeat environments, right? Now I'm just trying to selecting the options all there. Let me just go for the GP2. Okay, that's exactly is fine for me. And how much storage that we need that we can able to mention here. we can see that I can just go for I don't require 100 GB disk. Let me just try to, because if you go to more than 50 GB, it is going to be costing you. Once you have done with this particular, once you have done with this practice, you have delete these options. That's very important. Okay. Now here we can just look at my screen. I just need to first go for the storage, how much storage that you need. And after that, we can just come down. We can see about like there is something it is called as in which availability zone that we have to create. This is also very important because if you just go back to usage instances right now, if you click on the instance, you see the first where is the instance is running. It's running on the availability zone AP-south-1A, right? I can see about what is public IP address, private IP address. Now I can just go for the volumes. Okay. Once I go back to the volumes, and I have to click on the creative volume, and here we have selected the GP2 here, and this storage is nothing but like 50 GB. That is nothing but like 50 GB storage, and we can see this is nothing but like availability zone where the in which available zone my storage is sorry, my instance is creating. In the same availability zone, I'm just creating this particular my instances also. The snapshot ID, I'm not taking any snapshot here. Right now, I'll talk about later. What do you mean by snapshot? How we can able to create a snapshot and all. We are not creating any snapshot. See, whenever you want to protect your data from the disk, we have to attach the KMS key. I haven't discussed about like KMS service. I'll discuss about it going forward session. You'll understanding about like what is mean by key management service and all. Now with this details, what I do, I'm just trying to create in the volume here. So I click on the creative volume. The volume it is getting created right now. Yeah. So we can just look at my screen. The volume is getting created now. So this volume, we can just look at my screen. It doesn't have a throughput. It doesn't have the snapshot ID. This available, this volume, it is nothing but like available now. We can see it is not in use. Now, if you want to attach this particular, the volume to the instances here, so we can just go for the,
Your voice is lagging again.
okay. If you have to go to this option here, what I do, I just need to first click on the attach volumes. If I go to the attach volume, we have to select about like in which availability zones the volume is available and to which instance that we have to attach. We had to pick the instance. Yep, this is nothing but like my instance right now. And you see, that is the reason I explained about like, this device names. There is something it is called dev xvdf, see dev xvdp. Also, we can see about like xdev sdf, sdp. This is nothing but like, the new Linux devices. So what is our device name that we discussed? Our device is name, it is nothing but like /dev sda1. That is our device name. So you have to attach your disk to this particular device. We can see that there are different types of devices that we have. We have to select what is our device and where you are trying to attaching here. I can just look at my screen. We have it is nothing but like partitions. Like we can see that SDB, SDC, SDDD, SDE, SDF. We can see recommended data volumes. We can see that we have the SDM. See, all these are nothing but like it is goes up to Z here. After starting with the XV, now I'm just trying to choose the XV, sorry, ESDB. This is nothing but like partition where I'm just trying to storing my data here. Now, if you click on the attach volume, if you just go back here, so we can see that SDD for Unix or device attached the SDB is already in use. So it is in use, it seems. Let me just try to go back here and I'm just trying to selecting this option here. Go back to, let me just try to selecting this particular. Yeah, I'll just go for this location. Let me just try to go for the forward slash dev and can just go for these once again. Yeah. XVDDBB. This is the location where I'm just trying to storing my data. Click on the attach volume. It is got attached. Now you can see it is in use. That means now the instance completely have something it is called as a 80 plus, sorry, 50 plus 8, 58 GB it has. If you just go back to the instances now, if you click on the refresh, if you click on the instance ID, we can see the instance ID. What I do, if you just come down, we can see there is an option called storage, right? Now previously showing about like one, right? But now we can see two devices showing about it. This is nothing but like 50 GB is showing about like 8. See totally how much storage that we have right now. We have 58 GB that we attach for the instance. We can look at the CloudWatch monitoring, how much average latency, average write latency, what is throughput. Also, we can see about like, write operations, read operations, that everything that we can able to see over there. So I hope this is clear, right? How to create a volume, how we can attach this particular volume to particular instances. I hope this point is clear here.
Yes, sir.
If you click on the refresh, if you click on the instance ID, we can see the instance ID. What I do, if you just come down, we can see there is an option called storage, right? Now previously showing about like one, right? But now we can see two devices showing about it. This is nothing but like 50 GB is showing about like 8. See totally how much storage that we have right now. We have 58 GB that we attach for the instance. We can look at the CloudWatch monitoring, how much average latency, average write latency, what is throughput. Also, we can see about like, write operations, read operations, that everything that we can able to see over there. So I hope this is clear, right? How to create a volume, how we can attach this particular volume to particular instances. I hope this point is clear here.
Yes, sir.